Oh, you on a live?
Yeah. Telling people that you
yes,
all
you did it.
What's good, my people? We are finally back again for another one on this here Brbptv podcast vibrations here in the nature of the Caribbean, Dominica, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another vibes, man. It's been a time coming, but we're back. We're keeping it on and 100, brothers and sisters. Today we have a special guest with us yet again. One of the individuals I pretty much call one of Dominica's heroes, man. And he's in the building right now. Siri's in the building, bro. What's up, bro? What's good with you right there?
Yeah, Siri exposing live alongside Mr. Lex right there. We gotta have it, Mr. Lex. We gotta have it mixed, right? Siri, Mr. Lex, we gotta have it mixed.
I don't know what we gonna do, but we're gonna be exposing all sorts of things today.
Yeah. We gotta do what we have to do.
We have to do what we have to do, bro. And of course, you know the circumstance that is taking place in Dominica. I think it's very much worrying or worrisome. And of course, you're one of the individuals who was definitely, so to speak, beaten by the system, not defeated, but definitely beaten by the system. And of course, we're going to be talking about that in a bit of a moment. But I just want to get some background checks for the individuals out there who might not know who Siri is. Siri exposing. Siri, tell the people something about who you are. Talk to them right there. Talk to them, Siri.
Yeah, you have to talk to them before I did.
Talk to them.
Siri exposing. I mean, basically,
yes, I mean, exposing.
I should say 90%, even not, maybe 100% to you.
Yeah.
They have a Siri, you know. I was popular, and I just past the popularity, you know. You understand?
So you're popular back in the day. What made you popular back in the day?
Well, the videos, you know, showing what's going on, what's happening.
But in fact, you mentioned the videos. Actually, were you on videos before YouTube or?
Yes, I was actually doing my little short videos and post it, you know,
where
my little posting on my phone or people share it on Facebook, on whatever, and then I just grew from that. I mean, you assist me, you push me, you help me, you understand, you introduce me, and I just capitalize on that, and then I move from there, and I do my thing, and it just it's like a natural thing to me now.
But what made you popular? You're talking about your videos you were putting out there. What was your videos involved? What were you saying in the videos?
Well, my video is like, I mean, some people might say it's politics, you know, but I enlighten what needs to be done, what needs to be done, what I find that is not right, you know, and I give my views about it in my own local way, you know. Because I was thinking of it's like some people the local people need to understand, you know, you have to break it down to them, you know,
on the level, on a
local level where they can understand, because when they come with the scientific words and they try to use their high education, you know, university language. So the people don't really understand, you know. So they're shaking their head or they clapping, but they do not understand. So when I come and I actually point, there is an issue there. There is something that is not right there, and that needs to be done, and they can do better. And you know, just break it down and just express myself in my own way.
And you were doing that for your village. Which village are you located?
Well, I'm from Bagatelle, you know. I'm from Bagatelle.
Where is Bagatelle?
Bagatelle is on the south side of Dominica. You understand?
South side.
Like next to Granby, just about a 5-minute drive from Granby. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, so you Bagatelle, then you have Four Seasons next door.
That's the east side of Dominica.
Southeast, southeast, because south is more Scotland. So you can just say southeast, but when they talk about southeast, they don't really consider us, you know. They say we are south, you know. They won't consider Lapland, Delices, south, southeast. So Scotland, we're in the southeast too. You understand? So after Bagatelle is Spirit Savannah, then you go to Delices, and you know, the condition of the road, I've exposed it already, you know. It's still the same. If you have all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, you can pass from Spirit Savannah to Delices. And then you have Lapland and go back to the roundabout, Pocassi.
Talking about that vibration of the road right there, there was I think it was a bridge that was broken down.
That is in Petit Savannah.
Petit Savannah, yeah. What has happened with that? Talk to us.
Well, so far the bridge is there presently. After 8 or 9 years, how much exposing, how much, you know, pressure, working, applying a little pressure on the government, but finally, you know, we have a bridge here. Right? Just
so it's possible.
Yes, all-wheel and four-wheel, because you still have holes and certain places that, you know, I mean, low vehicles cannot pass.
I once saw a video of a girl who was talking about going to get the bus I'm not sure if you saw that video. She was talking about going to get the bus, and she has to wake up like around 4 o'clock in the morning and stuff, and have to go down into and climb up. That was kind of crazy right there.
Yeah, I saw the video because it's much closer to pass from Delicis to Roseau through P7 Bagatelle, the Grand Beach. Much closer to pass from Delicis to pass on La Plaine. It's much closer.
So is that road fixed? Is it fixed?
From PD7 Delicis?
Yeah.
No, not yet. I mean, you can pass if you have a 4-wheel or all-wheel. You understand? But you cannot pass if you have a small car. You understand? Because there are holes, certain places still it messed up, you know? Yeah, it might touch under, it might stick.
What other things were you exposing on the Siri exposing? Talk to us. We want to know why Siri is called Siri exposing. What other things were you exposing? Talk to us.
Well, basically, I told you, it's just an everyday thing. Everyday, what we see in our eyes every day. It's not. I'm not imagine things or creating things. You know, it's an everyday thing. That things you will see, I will see. Things everybody in whatever village I go to, wherever I am. That's the life, you know. And the support is there. You know, the support.
That's what I was gonna ask you about.
Yeah, the support.
How was the reception of the people?
Yeah, the support is there, and again, strong support from. I mean, I don't want to say they're still leading towards labor, but they are labor. You can consider them as labor rights, which I doubt they.
I usually call them confused labor rights because they don't know what.
Right, they're confused. But right now, if they were labor right now, it's like they've kind of. Their mind fluctuating.
To flam.
Yeah, no, their mind fluctuating still, you know, until they find themselves stable, you know, on the right side, you know. So they give me this strength and they tell me, see, yeah, good thing you doing now. I'm happy you do it, you know, because some people cannot really talk because they know the victimization is real.
That's true.
It is real, you know. So to avoid the victimization, they don't want to get a child looking for government, or they get an apartment, or they get $10,000 year before last election, you know.
Or they have a house and they want to.
They got assistance from the government, you know. So they're just trying to just stay on the low, you know, because of that, you know.
But speaking about that in itself, though, I mean, if the people, don't you think that the people, if they were together, do you think a lot of the problems that we have today would solve? I mean, because some person might believe, oh, it's only me, I'm by myself, you know, nobody else is coming, or, you know, people are suffering in silence.
Yes, people suffering in silence.
So what is preventing everybody from coming together? I think that is a vital point that needs to be from your experience.
As I can see, it's a strategy that was placed on them. You understand? Because remember, I give you a house. You don't have any title. So which means now, if you go against me, I can just tell you're out of the house. You understand? Your daughter, your son employed, you know? You're employed under NEP. If you go you say something against the government, they can just put you out of job. And that little money is small for you, but you're really in need of it. You understand?
But although I agree with what you're saying, though, but I think if the people will band together, it's just like if the whole of Dominica came. We'll talk about that in a moment with the situation that took place in Roseau. But if the whole of Bagatelle or whole of PT7, everybody came together, they would have to throw everybody out.
Yeah, but the fact is, right? You what you call divide and rule.
Yeah.
You understand?
Divide and conquer.
Right, divide and conquer. But you start something, you know, like for example, people will tell me, Siri, but you're doing videos by yourself. What are going to happen? Is 5 of us in a group doing videos. Okay? What are going to happen? We've experienced what I've seen already. Okay? What are really going to happen? 5 of us, okay?
Yeah.
They're going to call Jack. Make our for him. But look at $10,000. Just following Siri and doing stupidness and look at $10,000. Jack might take the $10,000. You never know. So 4 of us remaining. They attack another person. At the end of the day, I might be alone. Because when you people about $20,000, $15,000, boy, I mean, I'm taking that in and just, you know? Don't follow Siri. They're trying to break you down. Okay.
And as you say that the thought of what took place in Portsmouth actually comes to mind. I remember when there was a situation involving Glanville with the Promiseville. I'm not sure if you heard of that, where there's a part in Portsmouth in the Glanville region where people were like, okay, we have been promised this land, and of course we're starting to take over, and it's called Promiseville right there. And the people were on fire for that. I was literally with them, filming everything, and you know, so forth and so forth. All of a sudden, I noticed things just start dying down.
They start to buy, them one by one. You know, so they're weakening them. You know, so they can't weaken me, just me alone.
But don't you think that I mean, sometimes people seeing what is taking place, but there's a level of selfishness and greed. Do you think that is a factor here?
Everything comes. Everything. You can put nothing out on the table. Everything on the table. That comes too. You understand? That comes too.
Yeah.
That is a reason too. Because we can put that on the table too. Yes.
So I think that starts at the head. Because if the head, we're hearing all these kind of things happening at the head, and then at the bottom we're seeing this, and then we want change for some reason or the other, it doesn't seem to happen, and the people are the ones who are to be blamed for that.
Well, it was designed, you know. You picture the long term, you design the long term, you brainwash the people, you buy them, and everything you say is yes. You know, it happened in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Maduro gave the people fishing boats, land. He just give the people land. Just come to a place. You take that. You take give people land to do agriculture. Yeah. You understand? He give them. He give them housings. You know, like he build apartments and give to the people.
Yeah.
So they feel that they get somebody for them. But he had his long-term plan.
Yeah.
His long-term plan was to stay in power. Right? Forever. But by the bigger plan is that to do a reform. Because in Venezuela it's 2 terms per president. But he wanted to have an open term. So that he could just win an election and stay in power. So after you do all that for the people and you ask for a reform, they're going to vote for you. Because they've been brainwashed by what they get. So they're going to they vote to change the constitution from 2 terms to an open term. But eventually he passed away.
That song's kind of like Dominica, doesn't it?
Okay. Eventually he passed away. No, who there right now? Maduro.
Yeah.
Even if they call election in Venezuela, who going to win? Maduro. Right? The other election in Venezuela. Okay? They ask Maduro to show how you win. Up till now he cannot show how he win, but he declares the winner. The other side now could show how they win by how many votes. Or constituency, however, but up till now he cannot show how he win by how much, by how many constituents. But he declares himself as the winner. You understand?
But right. But as you're talking there, and it seems like you can correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like that is the path that Dominica is going down. And if at present we're seeing what is happening in Venezuela, does that mean that is what's going to happen to Dominica?
That is a trend, right? But it is too late. It cannot happen again. That is a trend I see.
Why you say it's too late?
It's because what happened now, right? The percentage of labor rights who are approaching me, talking to me, that is it.
But
yes,
I understand. No, yes. What you're saying there, I understand what you're saying. Because when I go there and I talk to a number of persons, I also hear in a number of persons, they say they agree with me. Sometimes they banter with me and we talk and we talk for hours and so forth. And they agree with me. But then when election comes, I'm seeing the very same people who were agreeing with me then at these conventions and, they're on camera.
But remember, at the same time now, money has power. So if I give you a 5 toll, if I give you a 3 toll, I would like to see all you in my convention. But after using that same tricks and technique throughout the years, eventually the people mind and eyes open. Right?
But is it really open? No, I mean,
I believe.
For the past 20 years, I
believe. Because, I have people talking to me from all different positions. From ministry, from the police force, from the forestry, from the teachers, for students. Just name it. You understand?
Yeah.
Right. And there is people that used to support the government. You understand? I'm telling you. Because remember, I in that for like... maybe for 10 years now, you understand? Yeah. So there's people that would have give me talk and hit me, kick me. I mean, not really kick me physically. You understand? But right now, it's like, right now in Dominica, another party don't need to go out and campaign. They don't have to just show their face. Another party don't need to campaign in Dominica. But they just need to just show their face, and that is it.
But see, I also have a problem with that one, though. Because when I listen to a number of persons, and then we're seeing these new parties coming up, and people think it's the new party that's going to make a difference, and we're telling them, no, it's not that. It's actually electoral reform that is needed, because no matter which party comes in, they will still win because they are rigging the system. Not although I agree with you to the sentiment where you're saying people's eyes are open.
Yes.
But I'm also noticing something that I notice overseas as well. Where no matter, even if, let's for example, I remember Dr. Thompson Fontaine was speaking on the merit of saying that only 4 constituencies were flipped by 120 people.
Yes.
And if they were flipped by 120 people, that means people from overseas will come into Dominica. So although I believe in my heart of hearts that Dominica definitely wants change, and although the government knows that Dominica wants change, they are bringing people from overseas to tilt the scale, which means that they will win yet again. Yes. Even though I believe
but Scary,
that they want change. Dominicans want change.
Scary himself confirmed that, right?
Yeah.
He confirmed
in the interview,
that in the interview.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think there is a case pending, which maybe he forget the other case. I think he have a case pending for the 2019 election.
I was part of that one as well.
Right.
Because the bribery and I think it's a bribery and cheating or cheating case
pending, right? So
it has gone into something called judicial review. I think that's gone into something judicial review.
No, it's a different one. I think they got a date now to go in court for. I think it's 2019 election. I think I think right. So when you go in right now, they have him right-handed because he confirmed that he brought people down. The Labour Party brought people down.
I was like,
yes.
know what he was saying?
So you have a case pending for that same matter.
You are on camera admitting. No, it's one
thing.
Right.
It's a win case.
Yeah,
that is a win case.
Yeah, he was stating that Freedom Party did this. Freedom Party can say no, we didn't do that. No, you say UWP was doing it. UWP can say no, they were not doing that. But the one that is now present here admits on camera.
He did it.
That he's involved in treating.
Exactly. So which means that is an easy case. That is a win case already.
But I'm thinking also
and he tried to capitalize on that to refer to Freedom and United Party. So which means all of us do it. There is nothing wrong. Nobody took Freedom Party to court. Nobody took workers to court. But they take you to court and you on a live
telling people that you
did it. So what the court needs again? When the case comes, what the court needs again? They don't even want you to talk again.
I say sometimes divine intervention exceeds there.
He just tie up himself there right now.
I don't understand that.
He just tie up himself. I mean, if his lawyer advises me, what, you should not say that. You forget you have a case pending for that. You know? So that is how when you go in now, you tie up yourself and a lot of things coming.
I think more cases should come on his back when it comes down to that sentiment right there. Because he's admitting on camera that he's involved in treating.
Exactly, and you have a case pending for that.
Yeah.
So that so how your lawyer going to defend you now?
Well,
that is a win case. That is an easy case.
And I think that is one of the reasons why Scary does not want to come on camera when it comes down to people actually interviewing him. The individual was involved in the press. What do you call that? The press conference, whatever that is. The people, one of the things I like to talk when I meet someone, because I went there twice and they rejected me.
They know you come in with some hard questions.
And I don't play any games.
Right, you
when
come
it
to
comes
ask
down to the
real
situation
questions.
right there.
You don't come to
real question. Yeah. One of the things that I notice with the media that are present is sometimes they will ask Scary a question. He would answer it in his own way, however he feels. And then they don't ask
the backup question. That is the most important.
That is the most important.
You have the answer. For example, he said something somewhere. Okay, you know what he said. So you ask him the question there right now, and if he says something else, you have to have a backup question and say
exactly
that is the answer you gave last month. And right now you give
exactly.
You need backup questions.
You have to qualify the answer you're saying.
Exactly.
And you don't say these things.
Two different answers.
Bro, sometimes I wonder. But I think one of the reasons why he set up the press conference was to make it seem as if, hey guys, we set up this press conference and being transparent to you guys. But at the same time, he doesn't want the real media people to come there and ask him questions.
Yeah, exactly. You need to unless you haven't got backup questions, it's like it's a waste of time.
Yeah, and the circumstances that is happening,
it's like a show.
And it kind of depletes what is truly democracy. Remember, you cannot bring all the people of Dominica to come and ask questions.
No. So
the journalists are the ones responsible. And when some of the journalists are defeating themselves by not doing their true journalistic proficiencies, then that kind of depletes what the people will get.
Exactly. So these people still standing in the dark because you all there, they are waiting for a result. They are waiting for the real questions. They're not getting it.
I remember
still in an empty hole.
Yeah, I remember one of the questions I was asked to Scary was on the merit of the yellow and blue building. What do you call it? The building of dark secrets or something like that. Yeah, they asked him about the building. And it's very obvious that he has some sort of involvement in that building. Because when he's asked the question, he's like, instead he says, this building is not mine, I have no involvement in these things. He's saying, well, go and do this and go and do that. No, well, you should answer. And he says he doesn't believe that people should ask him.
Boy, he doesn't believe. You know, you are not on a private property.
It's not your
country. You are representing the people.
Exactly, right? As servants of the people.
Exactly. Whenever they ask you a question, you must answer them.
Yes.
You have to answer them.
And if you answer them answer the questions and it's not coinciding, the journalists who are coming there should then do a rebuttal question on that merit and say, hey, this is what we found out. What are your thoughts on this?
Exactly.
But it seems like he's the one who wants to give them the questions to ask them.
If you don't want to answer, we have to hold you accountable.
Exactly. That's where accountability comes in.
We have to hold you accountable because you don't want to answer. So we're going to flip it around now to hold you accountable. Yeah.
I remember on the merit that, okay, let's say, okay, what Scared was saying about the yellow and blue building was, you know, fine. Okay, fine. But I remember one of the questions that they also asked him was on the merit of getting an increase in pay. And I think Matt was the one who asked him this. And Matt was saying the country is not doing well. You guys know that the country is not doing well. Yet still you guys are increasing your salaries.
Yes.
And Matt is asking, well, don't you think that is the problem? You know what he responded? He said he doesn't believe that Dominicans should ask, you know, the people should be involved in these things. Really?
This is very insulting to the people of Dominica. How can you say that? The money you are increasing is the people of Dominica money. It's not your money. It's our money. It's Dominica money. So if you take in, if you put in $4,000 on your salary, we have to know why.
Yes.
Why do you want it?
Where the money is coming out to?
Exactly. And why you taking for yourself and NEP not getting, the nurse is not getting. If it's one package, it's one package.
Yeah.
Don't give it to yourself.
Exactly.
First. And you representing the people, you work it for the people. The people should get an increase before you.
Exactly. And when things are doing well, then you elevate on yourself.
Exactly. If it remain more money in treasury after one month comes, then you can say, okay, it has a certain amount of money left, so all of us can take $50 or $1,000, $2,000. It's the people you working for, not for yourself.
And the thing is, I don't mind if Scared was actually, you know, doing whatever he's doing, and the people are benefiting from it. I wouldn't mind, you know, because at the end of the day, it's the people who are the primary custody that you're supposed to be taking care of.
Even you steal, and people making money, right? People making money.
They're doing their thing in society.
Without review.
Yes.
But you're gonna be there playing hero with this state money, bigging up yourself, doing whatever you want, and have the people like nothing. And when election coming, you will just give them $100 or $200 pass, put the money in a shop, let them drink.
That's treating again.
Give them a shirt, give them a thing, and you think, you know, that is it? What about them? What about they having a house? What about they buying a car? What about they buying a piece of land?
But I think, but I also think what he's doing is intentional though, because on the merit of trying to make sure that people are not able to think on their own, or if they are able to think, they are not able to meet the means on their own, not just for survival, but even elevating. And it seems the only set of people that are elevating are the ministers.
Yeah, but keep them poor, put them dependent, and they cannot talk, they haven't got a say. What we say, what we decide, they just have to follow. If not, we will just cut off what they're benefiting from us.
I did a reaction, and give me your input on that, but I did a reaction on Ibrahim. I don't know if you know Ibrahim Tarori. For that place in Africa, Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso,
yeah. And that is a leader I think Dominica needs right there.
He's an inspiring leader.
Because he's not just inspiring, he's not just doing things for his people, setting up and understanding what the people need.
Exactly.
But he's also holding his people accountable.
Yes.
Because today, some of his ministers are in prison.
Right. They have to pay.
They're in prison.
Yes.
Yeah, because of the corruption that they have been involved in. Now, my question to you here is, knowing that there is a level of corruption in Dominica, do you think that the police is truly doing their job when it comes down to corruption? Forget politics. Well, all that is politics, but forget partisan politics. Do you think that the police is actually doing their job when it comes down to this?
Well, first of all, as I can see and feel, right? The police force is divided. It is divided. There's no two way about it.
Divided how? What do you mean?
It's like the police force supposed to be independent. You understand what I'm telling you? All right. So hearing different views of different police officers and you know different views. If it had unity, you will not be hearing these different views.
Yeah.
You should be hearing one song. If you're in 2 songs, it's 2 different DJs, or you play a song first and you have another song.
Yeah.
Right, telling you? So it is divided. But you come to do your work, you do your work. You are telling you?
Yeah.
Yes. You're a police officer, you come to do your work, you do your work. But it is divided. You know? It is divided.
But do you think that the police officers actually know their work though? I mean...
Well, basically, even if you don't know your work. But remember now, if you even know your work, you're on a construction site. And today you have to do plastering. But when you reach now, the boss man tell you, hey, I want you to put some blocks there for me. You understand? Maybe you're not strong in it. But remember, you're working for a boss.
Yeah.
That is the thing. When you're working for somebody, right? Whatever they tell you to do, you have to do it. Because you're working for the person is your boss. You understand? So when the police officers leave their family and go on their project, you know, they do their work. You know?
But
even if, for example, there's any police officer say, okay, I need you to go and arrest Siri for me. Right? Even last night we had a drink in a bar and we were laughing. But he has to come and arrest me. That is the send him to his work, his job. You understand?
But that, I think that is why I disagree though. Because I don't think the police officers should be guided by the individuals who just tell them to go and do this. So, for example, if a police, your superintendent, whoever tells you, go and smoke marijuana, go and snort these things.
Well, the fact...
Because he give you the order, that means you have to follow it.
But as I tell you, you're working for a boss man. Is either you can...
No, but answer my question.
Yes,
would you do it?
But if you don't do what the boss man tell you, it's like you fire yourself, you know.
So you have to do it.
Well, if you want to keep your job, you have to do it.
And that is, I think, that is where the problem...
Job. Because it's like now, it might have rules and regulation for that in the police force. If you don't listen to your prison, they might suspend you for 2 weeks, for 2 days. I don't know. There are laws too for that, you know. There are laws for that. I don't know. But the fact is, no, you don't want to lose your job. You have a little loan, and you know if you do not do what they told you to do, what's the consequence behind it? Even you have to stay for a month, 2 months at your home, or if you might not get promotion, you might see somebody just come in the police force 2 years after you, 5 years after you, and get promotion. They penalizing you for that. So it have like things in it. You know, we have to watch it. We have to watch all that.
Yeah, but yes. Don't you think? And this is why I say I disagree. All I agree with what you're saying, that this is happening. The police, whoever is in charge, say, hey, you do this and you do that and you go and do this. The reason why I mention this is on the basis of the Constitution. Because when you look at the Constitution is telling us that the people have a right to protest or to assemble. The correct word is assemble right there. They have a right as long as they are not infringing on others' rights. So when the police or whoever is telling individuals or the police officers who are below them to go and interfere with these people or to go and break their constitutional right, just like I mentioned about the drug system, the constitutional right, you have to follow it. If you don't follow it, then you are breaking the Constitution.
Well, there are rules and regulations and there are rights, you know. So if you're a police officer, you know what you, based on your rights, what you can do and what you should not do. There is an extent to what you can do and what you cannot do. Because you as a police officer, they say you don't do something. You know you can hold your boss accountable. You can hold your boss accountable.
But do they? Do they?
Well, I mean, maybe it happened already. I don't know, you know. But because if you're my boss and you're telling me something that you know I should not do and you're telling me to go and do it, right? I will tell you, boss, you know, based on the law, I am going to do that. Even you yell at me, I don't care. But I know my right.
But they can still fire you because of that.
No. There is rules and regulation. There are laws for police too.
But yes, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I don't know to what extent. You understand? I don't know to what extent.
The reason why I mentioned this is because of the Constitution. It seems like the police is literally breaking the Constitution. After they break the Constitution here, and people being promoted.
Well, that is something else, you know, because I tell you again, it have a lot of politics going on. You understand? And you and I can't fight it because the way we can fight it is just, if it's to vote out the government for it to have a change. But anytime there is promotion going on, when they should not get the promotion, and you are in this politics and this and that. But the only way you can change that is to change the whole system around by changing the government.
But
right?
It brings
because we can talk January to December, when the same government there, it's a repeat of the same thing.
But Siri, it brings me back to the same point I was making a while ago. even if the people, and I believe that the people in Dominica want change, they then go back to the people overseas.
But the people, what about it? It was easy to steal the election because you have a bloated list. You understand? People come and vote just by saying their name, right?
No, or saying a name.
Yes. So it's small villages like mines. Everybody know everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you like for example Senju, okay. But I have to vote in Bells, okay. But remember now, I'm not from Senju. How can that person in Bells know if I am from Senju? You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
The person knows if I'm from Senju. So you have to calculate where you're going to bring the people and how they're going to know that person not from there and that person will vote there. You understand?
And that is right. Why the electoral reform is needed.
And the maps now, the other maps that they use that, okay, we lost there by 50. So we have to try to see if we can get about 150 people to bring down in that constituency. Because in that 150, we will always get some people that will cook us. Yeah. There always some people that will just, they will pretend that they will vote for us, but they will not vote for us. So you have to triple what you need to in that constituency. You understand? So they go Tiga, they go America, they go wherever. They trying their best to see it, you know? Which they can make some people even pass in their constituency, as I told you. Some people may be from Bagatelle, and they can make them vote Bells, for example. The people in Bells, what is your name? Jeff Toulon. Jeff Toulon? Yes, okay, Jeff Toulon. Yeah, you can go and vote. You know the thing. So right now, it's a little harder right now, right? Presently, it's a little harder because you're going to have a voter ID card. You are telling you? And you're going to find a name out of the list if you do not come and reconfirm. But what are going to happen? Everybody know everybody. Okay? So if you think now you're going to stay in Dominica in an office and reconfirm for somebody in Antigua or reconfirm for somebody in St. Lucia, right? But we in the village know that person haven't come down for a year or two. So how come that person can reconfirm when that person that haven't come back to Dominica for the year to reconfirm?
What would be the
consequence? We have to look for that.
Yeah, but what would be
a lot of tricks? Remember, it's a fifth thing that going on there.
Yeah, but what would be the consequence to this? Because I know that the United Workers Party and the Electoral Commission was speaking about having biometrics. Because people can go and putting, and if they're in cahoots with the people who are putting on the names and stuff, then that can easily happen.
So what are going to happen? What can happen now? We know that person haven't come back to Dominica, but that person reconfirmed, but that person haven't come back to Dominica. So how did that person reconfirm? So we're going back to hold the person, if it's in the village council, wherever that person reconfirm, we're going to hold that person individual accountable. We don't go in through politics, no?
But that's what I'm asking.
Individual, we're going after that person.
But what would be the consequence though?
We're gonna take that person to the court for forgery because right now we sure that person haven't come down to Dominica. So how did that person end up on your list?
But who will be taking them to court though?
Is the opposition have to take them to court?
The opposition, okay.
That is their duty to hold that person accountable. How come that person reconfirm and that person haven't come to Dominica for the last year?
But isn't that the job? Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So you have to look for all the legal tricks.
But isn't that the job of the Electoral Commission?
You already know how the Electoral Commission stand.
That is the problem.
So you have got to go there. You understand? We have got to go there. So you have to look for all legal tricks which they can use and prepare for it. You know, that's what I'm looking for. You understand?
But that, and I think that is
look for all the little tricks they can use.
Yeah.
You understand? And then prepare for it. Because we're not gonna you're not going to hold Labour Party accountable for that. Remember the person, right? The person they select to reconfirm. So that person name on the list, that person reconfirm Bells. So we're coming after you now. We're gonna take you to court. Because I want you to explain to me how that person name on the list, but that person haven't come to Dominica for the past 1 year.
Yeah, but I agree.
You have to look for, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for all the tricks that they can use.
Yeah, but I think one of the tricks that they can use is that I think when Dr. Thompson Fontaine was speaking, and I would like to bring him back. I would like to bring back Dr. Thompson Fontaine. And I think there's a police officer that wants to talk to me who's brave enough to come and talk to me. So we're going to look out for that right there on the podcast. He has the freedom. He's a retired police and he wants to, he's telling me he wants to talk to me and stuff. But when it comes on to, you know, what Dr. Thompson Fontaine was saying on the merit of trying to, you know, figure out certain things or what can work and what kind of work should work, what shouldn't work. I think one of the things that he mentioned was on the merit of saying that even if in the reconfirmation period, if it is not done yet, an election is called, they're going to be going back to the old list.
Well, this is something I analyzed already because I calculated in different ways. Okay? I believe, maybe I could be wrong, but that was the plan. Okay? But the exposure around the world, the whole satellite is on Dominica. I don't think any election will call, right? Before confirmation, everything is ID card. No.
But if that is one of the government's strategy, I mean, look at what. Remember, the world was watching Venezuela when it was going on too.
Yes.
So that is also a very interesting part right there.
They are military. We have no military in Dominica.
Well, they have RSS force.
And we are just a little dot. We are just a little dot. Okay? We saw not in the world, in the bigger world business. Our name not even on list for tariff. Because we're not exporting nothing. You see?
that was imagine that was actually my reaction. I was gonna talk about the tariff, but it seems like that is a thing,
yeah. We're not exporting
because
nothing.
We don't, yeah.
We're not exporting nothing. The tariff not affecting us.
Yeah,
that is another topic of the day. No, should not be talking about tariff. But if we're exporting, it will affect us.
Yeah,
but we're not exporting. Yeah.
But the whole problem that I think would happen, I think one of the strategies that they will definitely use is what I just stated right there. I think Dr. Thompson was talking about that they should give some sort of date or something of that sort. But I don't think they will be doing that because they want to win election. I remember when Skate was in St. Martin and he was stating that he's gonna be there until the rapture comes through.
Anybody can say that. I myself can say that. You hear me? Anybody can say that. You hear me?
You don't think it's based in reality at all?
He can try anything he wants. That can never happen. You understand? God power than evil. God stronger than evil. You know what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
And that is God turn right now, right happening there. You don't see how fast he's going down?
Yeah.
You know, Scary was in front St. Jean Tuesday night.
Campaigning?
You know? I don't know. Up to now, I don't know. People don't even know what he came there to do.
Probably dishing money, maybe.
You know, they give money. They give money. They give $100, and the people were very disappointed, and
they wanted more.
They were disappointed, and they feel disrespected.
Because they wanted more money.
But you hearing about millions on the radio. You hearing about millions missing, millions in wherever.
Billions,
yeah. You know what I mean? And you come in and you giving people $100. People feel disrespected.
Well, I think
I was there today. I actually went there today. Syria, I don't have them now. I was running broke. I take it. But you know already. Yes.
I would take it too.
Yes, I have to go on the
it's
ground.
my money, you know, they give me.
I have to go on the ground. You understand?
Yeah.
That is people that they're struggling under a government of 25 years. That is people that can still work. You see me? There is no opportunity for them. What opportunity?
Nothing at all.
There is no opportunity.
Nothing at all. And it's interesting to find out. And it's interesting to find out that that's one of the reasons why I always say what I say when it comes down to the analogy that I tend to use. If I'm in a house that is burning, why does somebody have to come outside and tell me to come out when I sit down in the burning house?
You feeling the heat?
I feel in the heat. It's scorching my skin. Somebody outside have to come and tell me. And this is one of the things that I've heard a few people saying. Oh, why didn't they come and talk to us in our house and stuff? Well, listen to the radio now. Listen to the. Why do I have to come to your house? Maybe you want to feel. Maybe you want to give the person a drink or something. I don't know. Or you probably want the person to talk to you so you can see if you can get a little something, because that's a culture that has been created in Dominica.
Yes, and see what happened on the ground, right? They also told me that they put $400 in that shop, $400 in that shop, $400 in that shop, so that people can take drinks.
Yeah.
One guy told me he counted the amount of drinks they took, it come up to about $95. So which means that the business, stay in the bar. Okay? Now the weekend before, Council put up a poster asking people to put $20-25 to hire a truck to pick up the garbage in the village. Okay? They don't even pick up the amount they needed if it's $400. Right? Now you have $400, that is $900, which means that money there, you could have hire a truck for us, even make free trips to come back at you. You see, you have the money.
Yeah.
The people now to try to collect money to hire a truck to go and for the garbages. When you have money put in bar, you could have sent a truck, pay a truck to go and pick up the garbages.
But I think the reason why they putting it in bars is because I think probably more people will be like, oh, that's my partner, or hey, he give me a drink. Because I remember one time one of my friends, sometimes they'll try to get me to drink all kind of things. But one of my people's there met me, and I came to tag him. I was like, yo, you don't tag me. I don't just tag anybody that doesn't drink with me and stuff. I tell him, well, give me water. We drink it. But the sentiment of that, it seems like, you know, they understand that the people like these kind of things. They like this stuff, but they don't care about the other stuff. They will make noise, but they remember that somebody give them a drink in the bar.
I'm telling you, right? I was being the ground. I was going everywhere, you know? People always expect if a candidate come there, you know, they always expect
treat them,
to pay. They always expect a drink, you know. That is expected, you know.
Yeah.
It's something that they've been using for the longest while, you know. But it's not working because every individual who got a drink, I spoke to them, right? I spoke to them. That is my duty to see them. You understand? When they pass, I have to pass, and it have to happen in each and every constituency. Wherever they go, you all have to go and see the same set of people. Whoever they talk to, you have to talk to them.
But do you think that would make sense though to go door to door? Is that a good strategy to have?
I believe in groundwork, right? But it is so easy right now. The people's eyes are opening, right? There is no more hard work for any other party. You know, just present yourself to the people. They get to know the candidate, and that is it. You understand? That is it. Because people are tired of the government. They are tired. They don't even want to hear the name of him again. I'm telling you now.
But that's what I was mentioning earlier. Because I remember seeing that in the United States. Because right now, when it comes down to elections, a lot of the people who sided with one particular party are switching. Yeah. And as a result of them switching, that demographic of people are switching. And because of that, they are bringing in illegals to come into the country. It's the same sentiment in Dominica that I'm seeing. That although the majority of Dominicans, and I strongly believe that the majority of Dominicans do not want to vote, just like I remember when Thompson was speaking about, you know, about 120 people tilting the scale who came from overseas.
Yes.
So the people, if nobody from overseas came, the constituencies would have flipped, would have gone to the other side.
Yes.
But because of that, no. So hold on. Yeah. So my question on the understanding is, even if you were to go to the groundwork and talk to the people, which I believe in Dominica, the people want change, they are still going overseas.
Yes, but...
So you saying a campaign supposed to happen overseas as well?
No, I don't believe that. I believe everything is Dominica, that's why we are, you understand?
But the people in Dominica want change. That's what I think
What is going to happen this time around? I'm going to put it up there, right? I'm going to tell them something, right? What is going to happen? You are labor right, you change. Okay? You know for sure you're not going to vote back this government. And it have 100 of you in each constituency. Okay? While they'll be checking, they're checking that 100, they're going to check that 100 votes for them. Right? And that is where they're going to get it downfall. That is where they're going to fall. Because they're going to con their labor rights for themselves, and the labor rights they change, but they're still showing their labor rights.
So they like secret society people.
Exactly. They already change against, they already go against them because they already see the light. You understand? So right now they stay in labor right, in friction, right? And they're going to vote the other party. And that is where they're going to get their downfall.
Well, that makes sense, because at the end of the day,
that is the main part. That is where they're going to.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, there are still people. Although they talk about, I remember him talking about the 120 people, but in the 4 constituencies could have had, 400 people voting for the LP.
Yeah.
So if these 400 people decided, you know what, we are fed up with the system, and let's say, okay, no, half of them change, then even if they brought the 120 people in, it would still turn.
Yes.
But because there are still people voting in Dominica for the present regime.
I agree, but the same people, they're going to count them this time and bring people thinking, they have the lead. Remember, now they have a margin, they're not going to vote for them. You understand? So that margin, they are going to burst them, they're going to get the shock. I'm telling you.
And what about the people who always saying, boy, scary to win again, boy, I'm not going to vote?
No, that sentiment that wash away. Right?
You think these people now are going to step up to the plate?
Yeah, for sure. They're not in that again. You can't talk about that again. That is what the word on the ground.
Okay,
you know,
cool.
I know where we were and where we are now. You understand? Yes.
I feel there's a I want to believe there's a change coming, man.
There
I want
is
to
a change.
Yeah, but it's just that I still feel like there's too much people voting for the present regime.
You see, forget about vote. The vote pass already. Vote have to come. You understand? The people do not want to get victimized. Okay?
Yeah, so
some people still looking to get something. It have a few I know, right?
Yeah.
They bold face. They're not in the business anymore. You understand? They don't care if they'll get something at 10,000 or 5,000 or.
So those they won't be counted.
They just not in the business.
Yeah.
But it have. I bet you if you're right now, almost all constituencies in Dominica, about 90% constituency in Dominica, 21 constituency, just put it roughly, maybe take out 4 of them. Each constituency, the opposition going to get 100 votes from Labour. Okay, they can come and share money. They can come and promise house. They can give house. You know, all the little things they can say they're going to give license for cannabis. And as time goes by, you hear a lot of things going to unfold. What, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that is the same thing the people keep hearing for 25 years. They don't want to hear nothing again.
I agree.
Okay, right now is the result. They don't want to hear nothing. You come in and say you will give license for cannabis. But St. Vincent already making millions already. Jamaica making millions already. And now you want to use it for a political, political scheme and say you're going to give license. You find it too late.
But it's
when we should be making millions out of it already. When we should be rich out of it already.
And this is, keep in mind, this is not something that is new for Dominica, you know. Even when the cannabis industry in its infancy, I think around 2019 or 2018, I know this particular individual who is involved in it and makes a lot of money on that and proposed that for Dominica. And I remember Skerrit coming and tell the people of Dominica that is not a growth factor for Dominica. A multi-billion-dollar industry in its infancy.
Yes.
So you know from that time to know how much competitors we are going to have moving into the direction.
Exactly, and check the amount of money we lost throughout the years, and farmers would have grown. They don't want like that. They don't want the local to grow because it's the local that will go in the soil. You understand?
Yeah.
No, if it happens, right? You still have to pass through one of them. One of them have to be making millions from it. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
One of them have to be making millions from it. Yes. And it's going to give you little money, right? Where a farmer is making millions or hundreds of thousands from it. But in Dominica, you'll just make a little change to survive. And they will have the how you call that? They'll be running the show.
Yeah.
So they'll be making the millions out of your sweat while getting little chicken food. You understand?
As you say,
if it materializes, that is the way I see it going to be.
But do you think that will actually come through? And the reason why I'm saying is because I just put up a video there. Let me just see if I can flip it for you to see right there. This thing that we're seeing right there. I don't know if you can. Let's just watch this video. Let me play this video for you so you can see it for yourself right there.
Can you imagine that using part of the revenues from the Citizenship by Investment Program, Labour will give every young person just after their 21st birthday a cash lump sum that they can use to do a business, help to secure a house, or apply toward educational training overseas. Labour! Yes, Dominicans, cash in your hand. No other country in the Caribbean does that. Only in Dominica will young people be given this kind of start.
So we've seen.
Yes, you see all of this.
So the reason why I brought this up right there, because on the question of them wanting to finally go into cannabis, they are saying to the Dominican people during election time that, hey guys, we're gonna be giving people who turn 21 years old so they can use this. I'm giving people money who turn 21 years old to do a number of things, whether education, whether it's entrepreneurship.
You give them a start in life.
They give them a start in.
Yes, you start.
Yeah, but has this happened?
That is just politics. That is why I doesn't listen to none of them. And what I know is people that are repeating to me now what they say. I don't listen to them.
So do you think that this industry that they want to go into at present will come to fruition?
That industry where the cannabis industry, they're going to flood there, right? Because it's like, let us make news. You understand?
Breaking news.
Yeah, let's make breaking news. Let's show we interest after other Caribbean countries making billions out of it, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, we are lashing everything. Right? So I tell you, if it materialize, one of them will be making millions and the farmer are supposed to get the money, right? Thinking of other countries, they're getting rich on it. You thinking you that in this are going to get rich?
Exactly.
You're not going to get rich.
Just like I understand.
They're going to give you, right? Less to nothing for you will never have nothing. While other Caribbean countries,
because you will elevate yourself.
Right. You understand? It's just going to be like an NEP thing.
Yeah, NEP.
Yes, like an NEP. They give you plant it, we take it. Yeah. Right? And we sell, we are making the millions. You understand? We in the jacket and tie are making the millions.
Yeah. While the people are doing the hard work and stuff.
The hard work, and they're supposed to be building big houses on the farm. You understand? So it's going to be the same thing. The only way the farmers can build houses and buy car from it, the government have to come out there. Yeah. And not the government have to establish that.
Yeah. But I'm also thinking of the aspect. I actually did an interview with an individual who wanted to push the coffee industry, and they wanted to push it as a luxurious item from Dominica because of the taste. It's really rare and so forth. And that these folks are trying their best. They're trying their best, and I'm asking them, what is the government's involvement? Apparently, the government is not involved in this at all. So, one of the things that I notice when it comes down to Skerrit, just don't believe nothing that he says right there. Now, Siri, one of the things that I know a number of persons want to know about is about the case, but we're not going to be talking about the case right there. However, you were arrested. What day were you arrested? Do you remember what day?
I think it was a Tuesday.
A Tuesday, okay. Now, forget about the case, guys. I'm sorry. We only after we can probably discuss this kind of things when everything goes down. But I remember when you were arrested and, you were put into the cell and all this kind of thing. What was going through your mind during that time?
Well, I was feeling stronger. I was feeling stronger, when you anytime in that type of situation, you have to be strong. Even you're weak, you have to be strong. You understand? Because anytime somebody opening door for you, you're not opening your door, you have to be strong. You understand? Because it's not when you want when you want they will open the door. It's when you want to open it. They will open the door.
So you think mind is greater than?
Yes. It's your mind. Your mind is power.
Yeah.
Your mind controls your entire body. So if your mind gets weak, your entire body weak. You understand?
That's true.
Yeah. So you have to be strong. I mean, that is one thing somebody should expect in life. You should expect anything in life. You prepare for anything in life. You understand? People don't prepare for death.
Yeah. That's a good point.
People don't prepare for death.
It's a very good point. You're actually going to die. You know you must die, but you don't prepare for it. That's crazy. Yeah. So when circumstances happen to you, you have to just have your mind.
It's best you still alive. And if you die, you do not for forgiveness, you don't repent and baptize or whatever. That is it for you. Everlasting fire.
Yeah. But that's why you have to trust Christ before you go. Yeah.
Right. You see.
I agree. Now, when you were inside there, Siri, I mean, we were hearing about a number of persons getting arrested and so forth and so forth. Were you by yourself? Were you?
No,
talk to me.
I met a lot of people there. Yeah, it has some like it wasn't first time I seen them, because when you're walking around Roseau or whatever, you seen people. But majority of people that was there, first time I was seeing them. First time I was seeing them, then they look talk all the reason, how to keep everybody strong, That you don't have time to weak. If you say anybody weak, you talk to them, they laugh, they think, Yeah,
And during that time, I heard that there were more protesters that were sent to the headquarters, so to speak. Well,
I don't know. It's a police station, so people come back and forth. They bring people. You never know who they bring. You don't know who they bring.
Were any of the protesters that you knew who were sent in?
Well, I don't know what they were there for. Everybody come there on a bus, you know?
Yeah.
This is what they were there for. These police arrest you, they bring you there, you don't know. You know, you could have thieves there, you could have murderers there, you could have everything there.
People who were falsely imprisoned as well there as well.
You know?
But another thing I want to know on the merit is that when you were inside there, okay, when you were in lockup or whatever, how did you guys, I'm sure there were more protesters there, how did you guys help to uplift each other? Were you guys feeling downtrodden? Give me your thought process in that.
The fact is, when they bring people, they bring powers there, you have all kind of different people there, anybody who there, you talk all the reason, you know? Yeah, you get to know, you get to know, just like if you go by a doctor and you meet some people there, all you talk to get to know each other. It's the same thing, you know? It's the same thing. If you go in the hospital, like if you're in the hospital, the person next to you might talk to the person next to you, you know? And might discuss, hey, I have a knee, that one say I have a headache, and that is why I'm there. You know, that's the same thing. It's the same thing like that.
But do you feel that you are the wrong place? Do you think you should have been there though? I mean,
you say in life, there is no wrong place in life, you know. There is experience in life. You know? Wherever you are, it's like you're gaining experience, you're learning something new. You understand? So it's not the wrong place you were. It's like you. It's
so you think you should have been there then?
Yeah, because everybody
it's your time to be there.
Designed to pass somewhere. You know, some people become doctors, some become lawyers, some people. You know, understand? We don't go to the same school to become lawyer and who could become doctor. You understand?
So you think that even if that you know you end up whether it's right or wrong, you believe in the philosophy that you are where you are supposed to be at that present time?
Well, this is life, and thanks God, it's not to say it's a vehicle that hit me and I was in a hospital, you know, or I lose a foot or I lose a hand, you understand? So when you think somewhere is bad, it is not bad compared to other things, you understand?
But do you feel like you should have been there? I mean, I was there too, you know, I know what that's like. I was inside there too.
I don't have any problem having an experience of anything, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so in your mind,
I have no issue in having experience.
So your mind is okay. It's another experience.
You can always relate to somebody else, you know, and say, you know, I was in St. Croix, I was in St. Thomas. St. Thomas nicer than St. Croix, or you know, you visited there, there are nicer beaches. You know, just experience, you know.
Okay.
Yes.
No,
I think to have your mind going crazy, or you know, not because you're a place and you don't like it, but you learn about it. You don't like something.
So you were learning about the headquarters. You were learning about the headquarters.
No, it's why you sell. You don't know about the cell. You know when you watch. You know, it's okay. It's just a little window there. You know, it's only one door. You know,
that's it. But even outside of that whole system, when you think of Dominica, I mean, when you think of Dominica and the way that Dominica is heading, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, you are individuals who tend to expose a number of things. What do you think Dominica is heading at present?
No, we are heading in the wrong direction, and I saw that 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago.
Where were you 10 years ago?
And I was in Dominica, and the majority, yes, and the fact is that if the majority of Dominicans that see we were going the wrong direction, we will not be there right now. But it's still never too late to learn. You understand? You can always change your head. You understand? You can always
the direction.
You can change your head. You can change your driver. If you have a driver, if you have a taxi bringing you around the country, and you suspect now he had 2 beers and he kind of want to sway on a side, you gonna say, okay, I'll take another taxi because I don't like the way you drive.
Yeah, because you might end up losing your life.
Exactly, you want to protect your life. So the same thing Dominica. Dominica going the wrong direction. We are already deep in the wrong direction.
Very deep indeed.
You understand? We are if we do not stand up, we will lose our democracy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
And Dominicans do not have the advantage foreigners, imported foreigners, or foreigners they are bringing in. They don't have the same advantage. You understand?
Talking about that, what do you think about them bringing in people from overseas who leave? Because I remember one part of the electoral reform system is on the understanding of, you know, not wanting overseas people to come and vote. What are your thoughts when you see Skerry going to St. Martin and a number of places, and you seeing him trying to bring people overseas who are participating in a different economy coming to Dominica to vote? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I am against that. I am against that. You know what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
If you live in Dominica, you buy your sugar, your salt in Dominica, right? You have the power to choose, to decide my sugar too expensive, my salt too expensive, or the price reasonable. That is what the choice is all about, you know.
Yeah.
That is what the choice is about. That is what the cross is all about. You understand? But you live in St. Martin, right? I am suffering in Dominica as a brother. You send a barrel for me, right? That doesn't give you the power to feel what I'm feeling here.
Yeah.
You build a house. You went to St. Thomas or wherever. That is where you make your money. You build a house in Dominica. That doesn't give you the power. That you're not feeling what I'm feeling. You understand? You know?
Yeah.
Because we are not in the same country. So you know, because you have a house there, you want to come down and decide for me. You're not supposed to decide for me.
Yeah.
You understand? You're supposed to decide for where you are. Where you are, you want to find out if it's cement too expensive. Where you are, you have to know if the cost of living is too high. That is where you are. That is where you have to focus on. You understand? Because the present, you see me? I could be anywhere around the world. I'm not in Dominica voting. I'm not in Dominica. When you come to a Dominica election, I'm not in their business.
But why do you think people...
I can give my views based on how it was, you know, when I was there, or what I seen when I come in back and forth, I seen. But when you come to vote, I know that the people in the country decide. And I'm going to come and decide, not because I have a house there.
Yeah, but remember, that is your philosophy. Why would you think that people from overseas want to come to vote in Dominica, despite what you are saying? I agree with what you're saying. People in the country, they say, who that in the kitchen are feeling the heat? Well, and then people from outside want to tell you, no, it's not the heat you're feeling. Why do you think that people overseas would want to come to Dominica to vote? Why?
What interest? Is there a contract? Is there a word for your vote? Did you get a money? There are a lot of questions without answers, you know. You know? And we are
free ticket.
Oh, you get a free ticket. Chartered plane. Why all that for? When the people of the village have to be collecting money to hire a truck to go for their garbage, and you will have money, or you have money to do all that.
Talking about that,
you find that was justice. Is it not right?
I agree. But even as you mentioned that there, I remember some time back they were telling people that they need to pay monies to collect garbage. Pay every month or whatever. Is that still continuing? Because I mean, we don't have a proper garbage collection.
Slowly, the people accept it. It's going to stay like that, right? If people start putting money every month to collect their garbage, it's going to stay like that. Nothing is going to change it. It is going to stay like that. You understand? Nobody should pay money, because I think in the time of United Workers' Party, right?
Yeah,
they put a levy for garbage collection, right? A levy. So which means you're already paying for garbage collection. So it is the duty of the government now to do their work on their part, because you already pay for garbage collection. So it's the government part. So if there is no garbage collection, because it's a failure of the government, right? And I don't want to hear drivers mashing up trucks. I don't want to hear that. Right?
Throwing the truck in the sea.
Yes, because if you have 4 trucks,
yeah,
right? If you have 4 trucks, one broke down, you can't fix it. Immediately, you send for another one. You always have 5. Okay? But the entire 5 cannot break down one time. Because you're picking up sufficient money for you to replace one. Alright?
Yeah.
Everyone want to break down. So if it's 5 trucks you have, you need 5 trucks sufficient for the entire country.
Yep. Different sections.
You always have a 5 truck. One broke down, you cannot fix, we order another one. So we have 5. Another one broke down, you cannot fix, we order another one. We have 5. We always have 5. You see where I'm from?
Yeah.
When you tell me we have 5, one broke down, you did not fix it. A second one break down, you fix it. We end up, we haven't got no trucks and you're collecting money for garbage collection. What did you do with all that money?
But isn't that part of the culture of what is taking place in Dominica? We're talking about garbage collection. But when you see in potholes and all those kind of things in the road, then people are saying, oh, the people need to put their monies together. When you literally paying money for license for yourself and for your vehicle, for them to fix the pothole, they are saying you need to go and put more money to fix the thing.
Not long. They put $100 levy on the license. And the excuse was, we wasn't paying road maintenance. That levy, that
so what is for?
Is for road maintenance. So if you put it on us a couple years ago, right? You should...
Wait. Hold on. Let's go back. You're saying that the license that we were paying was not for road maintenance?
That is what they claim. That is what
so
they
what
claim.
Was it for?
I don't know. Maybe it's for to pay civil servant to for.
But how on earth what that have to do with us?
Because
we paying money.
The license supposed to have a percentage for road maintenance because the person paying license. So they claim that you wasn't paying license, paying for road maintenance. So they put an additional $100 copy.
But that is the whole point of paying license for road maintenance.
But exactly.
So why they say
and the
not
government,
for
and the government get the rest of the money to do what they feel like with it. So they put an extra $100. So which we know, they claim that they put in $100 for road maintenance. So which means presently, if you put $100 a couple years ago for road maintenance, we should not have no holes.
Exactly in the road.
Because we paying it now. So why we paying it and we still have all these holes on the road? What is the problem?
It's
still going back to the government. That is the same thing.
Exactly, that is the thing.
For garbage collection, no trucks is their problem, not the people problem that have to put money.
But I heard,
so if they cannot, if they have no trucks because it's their problem, they're supposed to hire, right? They're supposed to hire.
The government's supposed to hire, yeah.
Right, because they have the money. Hire a truck to send in different villages to collect the garbage. Why the people have to be patching money to collect the garbage? You see,
I never understood that. I never understood that.
You don't see how dumb the country get?
Yeah.
How low we get? Yeah.
People from overseas actually come in Dominica and saying, but wait a while. I was Dominica 3 years ago. Dominica was not like that. People saying 5 years ago, Dominica was not like that. And people coming into Dominica, come for the festivals, come for the carnival, and they leave in the next day.
But there is nothing, there is no life, no vice for them to stay an extra 3-4 days. So that is an extra 3-4 days money that should be circulating in the country, right? We're losing it. Yeah. Because anytime you live in overseas and you come in for Dominica Buffet, because of airline, not much space and thing, you might come down 3 days before. But you don't want to come down 3 days before.
Yeah, you want to come down the day before
and party and go down
exactly.
and go down the same night. Because there is nothing, I'm telling you, there is nothing. The country is dead.
I remember looking at the tourists when they came. That was this year. The tourists when they came and they were just walking around Roseau. I mean, at least Roseau have a few spots where they can come and eat something. But then that's it.
There is nothing. You understand? Yeah. To see you come from overseas, like every night you're gonna sleep 1 in the morning, midnight, and you come down there and you checking out. You see your grandmother closing her door 6:30, checking out what is that? Yeah.
but hey, and sometimes if they extend the time that they're there, it's not bright and creamy. It's just that they have not gotten any funds for the day to meet their obligations.
We need the circulation of money in Dominica. We need to bring up the salaries. It is too low. People should be getting $1,500 minimum. In Dominica presently.
Yep, I agree.
$1,500 they should be getting minimum in Dominica.
Because Dominica has so much resources, Ben, but we're not utilizing it.
Exactly, we are not exporting anything. The thing about export, what do people also understand, right? When you export, you are selling. So the big portion of money is yours, right? If you are importing, the money live in the country. The only thing you have is like 1 cent, 2 cents, 25 cents profit you put.
Yeah.
When you import, okay, you only gain $1, $5, 25 cents on the imported goods. Okay? But when you sell, they give you 1,000 because they buy from you. And it's still here. But when you import now, all the thousands go in and the cents, the little profit stay there, the little cents they put on it to make their profit.
Plus the duties you have to pay.
And the duties all that. You see where I'm coming from? So we have to flip it around. Less import, okay?
More of what we produce.
We have to produce.
Yep.
We have to go into manufacturing. We have to go into agriculture.
Well, we cannot go into manufacturing right now. You know why? Because of Domlek. That's what Scary told us.
Well, the thing about manufacturing, right? When you don't want to go into manufacturing, you look for excuse.
Yeah.
You understand? And that Domlek thing high and thing, that is a petty excuse.
Yep.
For years, all the promoting solar, clean energy. What about solar and clean energy? A factory can run on solar.
Yep.
A factory can run on solar.
Yeah.
Right? So why are we talking about Domlek?
Solar and wind as well.
Talking about clean energy. When years old about climate change, because the thing about climate change there, the big countries have to put money so that the small countries could get. Because it's like the big countries that are affecting the small countries. So when they're talking about climate change, they only focus on climate change for the big countries to put money so that they could get money. But they don't care about climate change.
But the problem about that, I agree. They want to get more. They want to get the money, not for the people.
Not for the people. They want the money.
Remember the $41 million loan we get from Saudi Arabia?
Where is it?
And they put it on the on Bayfront.
Where is it?
The road alone is $41 million US.
So when they're talking about climate change, they want to get them. They're pushing for climate. They're pushing it for them to get the money. But it's not no change it's going to make.
Yeah.
Because the big countries have to put money for the small countries to get. Right? Yeah.
But I think the whole system here is rigged, man. The whole system is rigged. But Siri, we have been talking and talking and talking, and I know I'm itching. I want to get into that case vibration. But I know you have to hold it down. I know you have to hold it down. And when the time is right, I just remember for me when I was inside there, and I definitely felt like I should not be inside there, but I also felt I should be inside there on the merit that I was able to talk to people inside there, and even when they felt it, you're hearing the people outside chanting and so forth, and they're talking, trying to figure out what's going on, and I was just trying to encourage them and do so. Sometimes certain things happen to us, and I agree if you understand me in that it's an experience to thing, although you're not supposed to be there. Sometimes you are placed there for a reason. And I think, the lawsuit is definitely one of the reasons that you guys should definitely push forward, no doubt about it. It's just unfortunate that we cannot talk about the case, and it is what it is right there. But I know that you are an individual who are a fighter, and you're not gonna give up despite of what whoever decides to put anything on you. You're not gonna be fighting. I am one of these individuals as well.
You put God first.
Yeah, you have to put
and
God
just
first.
Follow,
where he leads.
Path. Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, whenever he turns to right, he turns right. He turns left, he left. And let God do his thing.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Because wicked people will want to do wickedness. Wicked people want to do wickedness for others to clap.
Yeah.
For others to rejoice. For them to try to gain a point. Right? But God will protect you.
And that's what I think. I think
God will protect you.
Yeah, God will definitely protect you. Once you see you seek Him, and you say, okay, God, have your way, and so forth. I definitely think that what is happening, I personally, not your views, but my personal views, I think what is happening when it comes down to the collection of individuals, the protesters out there, and collecting them, is to try to some sort of put in fear in the people. Not you guys might be strong and so forth, but they're seeing people getting protested. I haven't heard that they might pick up another one, an elderly lady in that same thing, which is like mind-boggling. Why are you doing this stuff in the first place? So I was thinking, that this is an intimidation kind of thing that they're trying to put on the people. Yet again, it's just that the people have to remain strong and steadfast and know their rights. I think that's one of the things in Dominica that is lacking a lot, that people do not know their rights. But just before we close on that matter, what are your thoughts? What do you have to say in closing here in this here vibe? And we definitely bring it back as soon as that case over in that regard right there.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
Well, it's all serious. It's serious. Nothing haven't changed. We're gonna keep exposing. We're gonna keep fighting for the people. We got Dominica to elevate, we want our economy to grow. You understand? And that is what we're looking for. Success.
Yeah.
Not for a few to enrich themselves and have the others like they under them, they above them. No. We want all of us to grow. All of us to grow. A nice Dominica, people come, people want to come back, money turning, agriculture booming, exporting, and everybody live a nice life, and the government always have to think now where they can take out tax, not put tax. Because if you grow the economy, for example, okay, agriculture, manufacturing, you can take out some tax on the pot.
Yeah. All, I think.
Because tax is something, right? Or VAT or whatever, okay? If you have to take out a VAT, okay, 15% VAT on the pot, okay? That is a certain amount of money you're picking up.
Yeah.
Okay? VAT is money. So you have, if you grow the economy, right, you might be even picking up more money, okay, on agriculture, exporting, manufacturing than you picking up on VAT. So you can say, okay, let me take out that 15%, Because I picking up more than 15% on agriculture on the other one. So the people can breathe. So goods now going to be cheaper. So the people going to admire you and love you because they're seeing you fighting your way out to get the goods.
You're doing something for them, yeah.
For them, right? You cannot have that there and still thinking of where else you can put more.
Yep.
You're working against the people.
Sometimes
against the people.
Sometimes I don't think the government knows what it's doing when it comes on to these things. You're supposed to lessen the burden on the people, not put more burden on the people. I never really understood that understanding right there.
So that is the incoming government soon. Incoming government. That is the plan they already putting in place. How are we going to, a specialist like Dr. Thompson Fontaine? Yes. Yeah. How are we going to grow the economy? Because we have to take out VAT on the pot, but we can't just take it out. What are we going to figure out? Yeah. How are we going to grow the economy so that we could take out VAT on the people so that the goods and products could be, cheaper? You understand? Building materials could be
and
cheaper.
putting the local people first. I think that's one of the things that is lacking in Dominica.
Local people first. You have a road from Lubia to Bagatelle on paper, but every day it has got sufficient money, so it's Lubia to Grand Bay. I will see because they're waiting to see because Bagatelle. It's Bagatelle. I will want to know what happened to the rest of the money. You right? So, what else I tell you? I will lose track of
the road you saying. Talk about the road.
So many things coming up in mind.
I feel you. But it's the understanding of trying for them to make sure that they do what they say they're doing.
Yeah, so my point I was getting, right, is that they have a road from Libya to Bagatelle, right? We have our local people with trucks. Okay?
Yeah.
They should be a priority in the project.
Yep.
How can you sign a contract with a contractor and there is no local trucks on the project? Right?
You have to beg for it, eh?
There is no local trucks on the project. When you, as a prime minister government, when you sign any contract, 80% of the workers and truckers should be
the locals,
because
that's how Grenada has their own.
You're working for your people,
and that money gets to circulate within Dominica.
Going back in the bank, right?
Yeah.
It's going back in the supermarket. It's going back in the bars. You understand it?
Yeah.
That is how you circulate the money when you have a contract.
And that's how entrepreneurship grows.
I know the company will not want it. They will want to have their own trucks for them to make more profit.
More money for them, yeah.
But I don't care about your profit. I care about my people who have to go in the polling station and vote me.
Yeah, but it's interesting when it comes down to that though, because Grenada has it on par. Barbados has it on par. Why can't Dominica do the same thing too?
Why can't they follow the good example? Why can't they follow the good example?
That is it, boy.
Why?
It's just interesting. It's just very interesting. But seriously, happy to have you out.
Yes.
Happy to have you, in the land of the living as well.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure for my people. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not looking for myself, Yeah, because I could get like how something they get in. And somebody like me could have get even more than them.
Yeah.
You understand? But when I die, I ain't going with nothing.
Yep. So you have to fight for the living.
Exactly, you fight for
the future. That.
Yes.
Fight for the living.
Yeah, you fight for the future of your children, your brothers and sisters, a better country,
exactly.
Advance.
At least you live it better. I think that's when it comes down to the human experience, because I remember experience a while ago. When it comes down to the human experience, I think everything revolves about humans' interaction with others and the pursuit of which they're able to impact others' lives better for the next generation.
Exactly.
And it seems like Dominica is doing the complete
opposite.
Opposite in that.
Yes, you have to leave a foundation for your children, your grandchildren, your family. Yeah. If you don't sacrifice yourself now to set it now, it's going to be harder for them,
Definitely.
So we have to sacrifice and fight for a foundation. You build a foundation. Because if you don't build a foundation for your children, they have to build it for their children, and as time goes by, it's going to be harder. You know what I'm telling you?
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be harder.